Well, breaking news. Dudes who like to feel pretty are getting their panties in a wad.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Because the National Park Service is removing the T from the LGB from its Stonewall National Monument website.
How did we get here?
Oh my. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this. Even the gays are like, dicks with chicks?
Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you.
Yeah, you can miss me with that. But it's what's next. Hey, happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this day. The Stonewall National Monument. Now, for those of you who are not in the alphabet circles, the Stonewall National Monument was a situation that happened in 1969 where there was a raid in the Greenwich Village. And of course, things got out of hand. There were many homosexuals who were injured and killed that day. So they erected a monument. No pun intended there. Anyway, and they compared it to, the situation with civil rights in 65 and, of course, women's, rights march in the 1920s. Yeah, I don't see it, but I guess. Anyway, the National Park Service, of course, is run by the federal government. They've stepped up on their website and said, yeah, about the LGBT, for the Stonewall National Monument, yeah, we're going to drop the T. And, of course, the dudes that like to feel pretty, has got their panties in a wad, they're clutching their pearls, and they're screaming, "Ree!" Why? Because the T had nothing to do with it. So they say. And we go to Breitbart. Transmental activists angered after Stonewall National Monument drops the T from the LGB. Activists for transmentalism were angered after the United States National Park Service removed the word transgender from its website for the Stonewall National Monument in Greenwich Village. MPS's decision to remove the references from the word of the website for the monument was met with criticism by Eric Bosher, the counsel who represents Greenwich Village, according to the New York Times. Bosher described the move as the latest attempt to erase the very existence of transmentalism. While the MPS website for the Stonewall National Monument does not mention the word transgender, it mentions lesbian, gay, and bisexual individuals. Before the 1960s, almost everything about living openly as a LGB person was illegal, the website says. Stonewall uprising in June 28, 1969 is a milestone, in the quest of LGBT civil rights and provided a momentum for the movement. The website explains that Stonewall was a milestone for LGBT civil rights and provided a momentum for the movement. Of course, I just said that. Stonewall was a milestone. Jeez, holy cow, I'm going to repeat it for a third time? No, I won't. In the early hours of June 28, 1969, a police raid on Stonewall Inn provoked a spontaneous act of resistance that earned a place alongside landmarks in American self-determination, such as Seneca Falls Convention for Women's Rights in 1848. Did I say 1920s? I apologize. 1848. And the Selma to Montgomery March in African Americans voting rights in 1965. Again, I don't see it, but then again, I'm not of that nature. Demonstrations continue over the next several nights in Christopher Park, across from Stonewall Inn and the surrounding neighborhood. When asked to describe the difference that Stonewall has made, journalist Eric Marcus observed that before Stonewall, for most people, there was no out, there was just in. Bosher said the rebellion that occurred on Stonewall would not have happened without the transmental individuals, adding to the attempt to erase their very existence, utterly shameful. According to Stonewall National Monument Visitor Center website, former President Barack Obama, quote, designated a national monument at the site of Stonewall Rebellion. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, Kathy Hochul, how's she doing? Yeah, with all those illegals running around in her state and can't do anything about it. Anyway, was almost among those who criticized the MPS for removing the references to transmental people from the website for Stonewall National Monument. Quote, this is just cruel and petty, Hochul wrote on X. Transgender people play a critical role in the rights for the LGBTQIZ rights, and the New Yorkers will never allow the contribution to be erased. Well, I said New Yorkers, New York as in the government, the state, not the people. People could care less. One transgender activist, Randy Wicker, who is described as being close to two transmental women who are widely seen as mothers of the movement. Mothers of the movement. Dudes who like to feel pretty. Okay. Key people in the Stonewall Uprising criticized the removal of references to transmental people as being frightening. Quote, "It's frightening. It's what's happening. The extent of it and the venom of it," Wicker stated. For those who don't know, Wicker is a dude who likes to feel pretty also. As Breitbart previously reported, President Donald Trump's inauguration speech, he proclaimed that official policy of the U.S. government was that there are only two genders, male and female. Why? Because of science, common sense, faith, and because it just is. Now, granted, I am not familiar on the whole situation with the Stonewall Uprising in '69. Like I said, I don't play in those circles. But the fact is that there has been a lot of gay organizations that have come out against the transmental people. Probably the most popular one and probably the most well-known, Gays Against Groomers, they've come out and said, yeah, dicks for chicks, you can keep that because that's not how we play. But it's about time, and there has been a serious pushback against transmentalism, from Hollywood to politics to just everyday, Jays and Jones. You can see it especially on different platforms, from YouTube to X to Facebook. There is a pushback. Why? Because this shit getting rammed down our throats is ridiculous and insane. These people are mentally ill, and they need to be dealt with as such. Not to shame them, not to beat them up, what have you, but basically saying, hey, guess what? You got a mental issue. Deal with it professionally. You want to do that in your own house, in your own little circle. Fine, knock yourself out. But for you to be, saying that you must respect us, you must adhere to our pronouns, or things will happen. Well, guess what? When you place threats like that, guess what? The rest of us don't like it, and sadly, things happen. But it's a good step. It's a great step for the National Park Service, and hopefully it'll be, it's additional pushback against this madness that is transmentalism. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and we'll see you next time. Peace.